Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Beatrice Ajayi. I'm an artist based in Glasgow in Scotland, and here I wanted to share with you guys on my channel the next step I want to take in my art process. And I've been doing that over the last couple of weeks, sharing with you guys what I've been doing, just taking my time going through my sketchbook and sketching out a condensed format of my artwork and working on that. And I put 2 videos so far of the process. I might be going back and doing another one of the last video I did. I want to add maybe another layer to that, but for this video I wanted to start a new one. So I like to alternate things so that I don't get bored, and so that's what we're doing today. And so I'm back with my coloring pencils, and I'm going to work through that with you guys here and sketch out a new character. So I'm just looking for what coloring pencil I want to use. I really love usually using a dark blue. So I'm just looking around to see if I can get a dark blue, dark purple. I like to start off with that, and then I'll look and see what I use after that. So let me just put this coloring pencil to the side. So this morning I've actually been organizing some of my brushes. I have some here and just to the side so that I can have them accessible for me. Just basic tidying. That's what I was doing today to start off my day. So yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. And last week, I don't know if I explained that, I just basically just dive straight into it and just start carving out my character in the landscape. So yeah, how have you been doing? I wanted to thank my subscribers as well. Thank you so much for being here on the channel and taking the time to watch my videos. Also, if it's your first time here, thank you so much for also visiting. So yeah, let's see where I go with this. Let me try and carve out the actual face to start off with. This might change quite a bit as we go along. So I wanted to start taking more time in sharing with you guys here what it is that I do in the studio, and just enjoy myself and spending an hour just sketching out a plan of what I want to paint and really take my time with that. So let's just get into that, working on the eyes here. Last video I did, I actually just made it just musical. So it was a music video more of just me painting along, and I'm trying to explore different ways of creating my art here on the channel. So I'm going to keep on picking my sketchbook up quite a few times because I want to see what it's like while I am painting or sketching. Actually, I'm just thinking, why do I have this out? Because today's supposed to be sketching. I don't know why I have my paint out. I'm probably going to cover that. So yeah, I am just really enjoying myself using my coloring pencils. I don't want to use pencils because they smudge quite a bit. Actually, let me get back into this as well. I didn't explain, maybe in my last video, if you'd watched that, you would understand. 2 weeks ago, I was reusing pages I have in my sketchbooks, and I'm fine with already having a floral background sketched out here. I'm just going to paint over this. So I'm going back and exploring, consolidating my art process across my work and seeing how I can do that. So for a while now, I've been sketching a whole bunch of different pieces and trying to really figure out what my approach is in all of this. So I might make her eyes a bit wider. I'm really going to take my time with this. So I want to get some areas as right as possible. I've been also thinking if I should be sketching on my mini easel that I'm using for my camera here, and so that I can see the face a bit easier, but I'm just gonna go with looking at this. I might stand, I might do all sorts of things just to get the actual sketch the way I want it. So there'll be a lot of adjusting. So I might put on some music for the rest of this. I didn't really want to start talking too much in a lot of these videos because my focus is so entangled in what I'm doing that I end up not talking very much. I really should set up a topic to have for you guys. I find it easier to actually speak if I'm doing a voiceover, because then I'm just watching what's going on and I'm not having to work through the process at that point. It's just a lot easier. I'm having to acknowledge that. I can lose my trail of thought if I am talking at the same time as working on an art piece. So it is just going to be quite repetitive, trying out variations on an idea of like the landscape and learning from my prior paintings to see what I prefer for this one. And yeah, just what I want to add to it as well. The characters and all sorts of stuff. I might leave some of this floral element. I might take some away. So just really relaxing and enjoying myself. Let's see. So taking a slightly different approach. Gonna add the landscapes back here. The landscape could come into this area as well. It doesn't have to stay just back there. What else I want to do in this? I wanted to do my writing as well. And I think I was trying to explain this a little bit in a couple of videos back, but when I am writing these mark making gestural marks on the page, what I'm thinking about can be a private thought. And so the way that I feel I'm expressing that while I'm doing the scribbles, I am thinking about that specific thought, and the scribbles just helps me to feel like I've added that to the page. Maybe in the future I would feel brave enough to share the specific words, but I feel like it's very expressive what's going on in my head, and I put it down to the emotion of the page. You know, what the painting makes me feel is kind of what I'm thinking when I'm writing that, what I'm remembering, my memories. And so that is what this kind of also is supposed to replicate: my memories of the landscape, my memories of my environment, things that I love. And so that is what this is all about. And that's what I'm trying to consolidate in my work. So I've really been enjoying the piece that I was working on the other day. I really loved it, the last video. It was so much fun to work on it. I seem to love putting trees up here. So as I work more on the sketch, it will get a bit more transparent what it is that I'm doing. I'm trying to have a translucent way of how the memories are going through each other. So the landscape is gonna come into the foreground and different things like that. I was thinking about maybe adding structures from the environment that will be linked to the locality where I am. So different ideas that could come into future pieces, but for now I'm trying to get my anchor into what it is I'm trying to express. So going with this, I'm thinking I might add another swan again. The last painting was a swan. I feel like that is what is clicking in my brain right now, because I'm trying to add a lot of our lakes that we get here, or lochs, I should say. So that is what is attracting me right now. I'm adding that just from her lips here as kind of an image that is folding into this, and going with that and adding some water. So having a lot of fun with symbolism. In my last piece that I'm going to go back to again, I had the teardrops that come down, which aside from linking into our wet environment, we get a lot of rain, and then folded in some clouds into that as well. It has a symbolic meaning for me, like for three, for Trinity, for example. So I like to add that in. It covers a lot of different thoughts and emotions in my head. So I think for creating artwork, I mentioned last time that we should look at things we love, things that impact us, things that we think about. And that is one way to get our style or our interests in the work that we do. So I'm looking at the landscape here, and maybe add some, what else should I add in here? I really don't want to overcomplicate some areas. I'm trying to remember what else I added into my last painting as well. So I've got the writing, I've got my character here. I have my bird. I usually add a butterfly as well. I think I'll add the butterfly, a really big one over here. So let's see how I blend this in. Really like butterflies, as in to look at, but they are very intense characters from my experience of them. I remember some years ago, quite a while ago, when there seemed to be a lot of them in where we were at that year. I don't know why, but one of them got into the house, and oh my goodness, it was so temperamental. I could not believe he was banging off the walls, and I could hear the impact. And that really was like, oh, no, no, no. I thought they were dainty, kind of delicate things when you see them from far away. But he was bouncing off that wall. It was like he was trying to knock the wall down. I was like, yeah, totally misrepresented what a butterfly is. So I have a bit of a croaky voice, I've noticed. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't speak in my last one. and I'm trying to talk less. I think I might have something that's causing me to have a croaky voice at the moment. So maybe I'm not myself, maybe I'm not well. I don't know what it is, but I have a really croaky voice. Also, it could be that it's in the morning and I really should have had a cup of tea before I'm doing this. But I wanted to get this in to have fun with you guys here. So usually straight from the school run, I'll just come in here and I'll spend an hour and then I will have my breakfast after I knock one of these out. Not really. I don't get hungry that quickly in the morning. So I came in, I tidied the studio, and then now I'm getting down to doing this. So look at the progress so far. And what else can I plan into this as well? So I have one swan here that I am carving out. I will zoom closer. Let me see if I can show you on my video here as well. So there's a swan there, and you can just see how that is so far. I think I want to sharpen this pencil, but I'll switch pencils, coloring pencils, so it's a different color. And I'm gonna add trees here that I like to throw beside this. I like staying, so if I'm using like certain colors, what I'm realizing is I like using the cool colors together, like the blues, the purples, and that really works nicely when I am working on the piece. It's really funny because whenever I say I'm not going to talk too much, that's when things start to come to mind. So this background here, I have some kind of mountains or Monroes in the background. So I'm learning that further away, to keep things further away, they need cooler colors, closer, warmer colors. So I'm telling myself here that these are further away. And some of these, maybe the trees, the forests as well. I'm just gonna add some of them in between the hair. So these details are building in. So I want to add some flowers. I already have these flowers here, so I could just kind of adapt them into this conversation, into this painting. Abstract kind of squiggly lines, but you can work on them when we start painting. So this one there. Actually, last one as well, I added thistles, so I might do that as well here, because I'm trying to bring in the Scottish element, being in Scotland. So let's see, so I've got this one kind of now blending into this area with the water coming in, the blue from the flower. The writing is there. Let's see, can I bring in the thistle? And here I'll give this area some space. I want to give that maybe some space, I think. I don't know, I could be making a mistake here, but let's try this. I'm just going to overlap this here for the thistle. Trying to think what else I could bring into this as well. And look at what's knocking. Right, okay, let's see. I've got a lot of different technical equipment around here for where I'm filming, and it was just something knocking when I was moving the table. So everything's an adjustment all the time. It's so interesting. Right, let me just get the shapes in for my thistle. So a lot of abstracted shapes that come together to make different items. Like when you're looking around, I always just use shapes to draw things, like the wings of the butterfly. It's basically different triangles that are together to make up the butterfly. Then I'll just do like very crooked stem for that, and then some leaves. So this is for the thistle. I'm just adding something in this area here. There is this conversation of when you create a piece of artwork and leading people off the page. So it's like you're gonna read it and they'll just like coming back will be a lot harder. So we are supposed to lead them back into the page. So I'm gonna just adjust this. I was gonna do it off the page, but now it looks even weirder, but welcome to the art process. And then maybe another one. I'm just gonna interrupt these flowers. The whole point is overlapping. It looks very odd. I know this because I am going over areas I said I wanted, but this is what I'm doing. I want things to be together on a page and to organically be beside each other. So this is what it looks like so far, is the face, and then the butterfly. The hillside is in the background. There's a hill going up there. I'm gonna add the blue in a minute. Her face, her lips, chin, neck here. Neck will come a little bit something like that there, and her hair going in, and that could be like it's a landscape as well. I could have brought it back in. I could bring it back in fact. Not could have, I can bring it back in. So let's just carve that back. So there's this thing as well, which I have been doing, which is controlling the space with the hair. So that's what I can adjust there. And if it's a bigger piece, you would see this make a journey down the page, taking along other elements as well. I'm gonna just sharpen these pencils because they are a bit more blunt right now. So just a tiny bit. See if this works. My sharpener has been very temperamental. I usually do it off screen. Do it off screen so that it could do its temper tantrum by itself out of view, but yeah, I thought I would try it anyway. I think it's the connection of the power. It's connected to my lamp and it's very temperamental. It doesn't like to play ball sometimes. So I managed to get one done. The other one is still struggling, so I will leave that alone. But let's see, what did I want to do? Yeah, take this landscape up here. That's the purple. Let's get the blue so that you can see it with your eye, that journey up the hill. And I could put a castle at the top of that hill. I could do so many things. Or I wanted to add possibly, let's see if I can add a stag or something. But I would maybe want to look at the picture to get a stag in. Let me see if I can just do a preliminary one here. The ears are usually quite high up. So is it just going to be kind of going off the page? So a stag there, I love adding my stags. His ears are up here, antlers. So that's a little stag at the side there. Let me see if I can come closer to show you. So I have my stag here, Swan, a character that's kind of having the memory of home, and a little bothy here. Let's see what else. Some hills in the background, some trees. I should probably lean into more of the conifers as well. And then here we've got some hills, some landscape going on back here. I've just seen something from this butterfly antenna. I'm just gonna add that in there. So there's like another hill or two in the background here. Let's see, what else could I put in here? So butterfly, thistles that I wanted to add, some roses as well. And let's see, so I'll get a little bit more into the lips as well. So taking my time, doing the sketch, adding the elements that I want to add in. And then also in my next video here on the channel will be to paint this in, to start taking my time and working on it, which is what I want to practice. I want to do that freely in my sketchbook, comfortably, and then by the time I want to start doing actual bigger pieces, I will have a process down. So I'm trying to work myself into understanding a process that will enable me to be able to achieve what I have in here on paper, and be able to create the kind of artwork I want to create. So really, really enjoying this. I cannot express how much I'm enjoying this. So, and it will help me to kind of hone my craft. So that is what I'm doing. And it's so much fun to be able to spend the time. Detail, detail. Here, this is going to be like a lighter area here in her chin. This will be darker, so I'm just going to fill this in a little bit. Just trying to figure out where the shadows would be to make her more visible as like a face, so that by the time I go to paint it, I'll know, right, okay, this area is kind of key to keeping her looking like a human being. Let's see what's this gonna look like in there. So this is gonna be very dark up here, and then in a little bit. The eyes. Eyelashes. So I'll keep on painting and I'll just add music to the rest of this. But I'm having so much fun. Let's see. Is there a path? Yep, there's usually a path. And then bees. Maybe put some bees in here somewhere. There we go. I always put, oh, I've just dropped a pencil. I always put slightly, like a handful of bees in. So I'm trying to think where I want to put another one, maybe over here. Just in random places. There we go. Just like that. And then with their little legs. It's like that. So 1, 2, 3. I usually like 3, so I'm trying to think. Maybe one down here. Which way should be looking? Maybe forward. There we go. Right, that way, that way. So I would take time to try and put the details in on this, but I love it. And adding the thistles is just becoming more fun for me because I've been wanting to do that. I am planning to also do some thistle stickers as well to add to my range of stickers that I have available. And so I am getting my practice in before I create those stickers. So I really love the way this one looks. I'm trying to think what else I could add into this. I've got my one bird, the swan. Then I would have some clouds up here. I'm gonna take a look at my last painting and see if there's something else that I added, or some of my sketches that let's see. So this was very simple, as in it's not got as much detail, I feel. I'm gonna add the bees back in here. I lost a bee over here. And what else as well? There's like this butterfly I've got to work on, and just add some more layers. But I like the way that this came out. So it's something similar that we're heading towards for when I finish painting this next one. So yeah, I'm going to be putting layers over them. They won't stay the way they look until I'm satisfied with them. There is going to be more and more layers on them. So I want to have time to take a look at it, to sink in and to brew for me. I'm looking at the face and I always feel like the eyes are just too close. I really need to go back and look at study some more eyes, really. I feel like I should push it further. It might be too wide. It might be okay, and just a slight tweak would correct them. Yeah, too close, and also quite high up, I feel, on the head. Like I'd want more space up here, so maybe I need to bring them down a little bit more. But that's the fun of doing all of this. I will still be in the background trying to learn how to get my details in the correct way. I could always project my images and create the resources as I've been told to do, but I really want to learn how to start measuring things myself as well. So I'm gonna have to take a look at some of that and see if I get better going forward in the classes with this. But I love the way that this is looking so far. These are minute things. For me, the technicality and the perfection of the measurement, it will happen, but at the same time, I just love the way it looked, because for art, it allows you to have those spaces where there is no perfection. And so that's what I'm going with. All those specific measurements are going to be the part that is in that area of where there is no perfection. And that will still allow me to create. Because I get a lot of people who say, when I say that I'm doing art, and they are very uncomfortable for themselves saying that they can't draw. And I'm like, that's not the thing to stop you. We all start in a place where we can't get things to how we envision them, and then we work towards them. So I know for myself that portraiture is not something that I chased in the realism sense. So it's not going to, it hasn't stopped me in my creativity of the work that I do. And it's still allowed me a space to be able to still even share that artwork through like this process, to be comfortable to do that. And also for people to love what it is I have created in the past enough to part with money. So I don't look at those things as something that's going to stop me from creating. I am trying to get the vision down for what I have in my head. And I love the way this is. Let me just make it a bit closer for you. So you can see this here. It is an amalgamation of images in a space. And I want to take my time to detail this out. So my next video with this piece will be to paint it. And it's going to be so much fun. So what I'm going to do is, before that point, is really think about what I want to do, having learned from my last painting, which is the whole point of why you just keep going and don't stop. What I learned from the last one, what I want to do with certain areas, and the colors I want to bring in, but I'm using acrylic paints when I paint this next, and it is going to be layerable. That means I can put layers over it, so I'm not going to limit myself on that. But I'm going to have a lot of fun because, yeah, I'm really enjoying where I'm taking this. I feel like I'm understanding it a little bit better for what I want to achieve, and to put everything in here, all the different elements that I've been using over the years. It's time to start bringing them together. I love animals, I love the environment, nature. I will represent myself through the different characters that I put of there. It's like a memory, it's an experience, a life lived, or a life that they want to live. And it's just exciting. And then I'm just thinking now as well of like the other elements I said that I like to bring in. So I feel like she is a diamond empress in this one. So I'm gonna put like a random symbolism. I'm going back into here again of a diamond, and I could just draw it in. I don't have to sketch it. There's a lot of ways I could deal with that. What else as well? So I really need to think about the other kind of symbolic things I like to bring in to my artwork and just drop them in to the piece. So I know I'd wanted to add some mushrooms. I mean, I have a list of things I want to be able to add. So it is thinking if it's appropriate, but I'm really enjoying where this is going a lot, actually. So I'm gonna keep on going. I will see you guys again next week, and next week we will paint this girl together. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully my voice will stand up so that I can actually talk in that video. If not, you will be. If I can't talk, it will just be a music video and of me painting. If I feel I can share with you guys, I will do that. My voice can take it. That is what I will do. But it's so exciting to be able to overlay this, and I'm seeing the picture now. I'm seeing the vision. Whereas I tried doing this in the past and it didn't quite come out the way that it is now. So I am loving it. So I still have a lot of elements that I need to figure out. I know that if I was doing this going forward in like a process, I would love to have different backgrounds, which I would have splashed like watercolors or inks and then sketch this over. So that would kickstart some of the colors for me doing that. But it's not bad using the coloring pencils as well, because I can still see, I feel like I can see it better now. So this is helping me with planning for what I'll do in the future. So by the time I do the extra layers I want to do, it should be a lot more straightforward for me. Even a boat, could throw in a boat. I love boats. Let me see, just like over here. A boat just sailing along. We're going to be doing a trip later in the year where we're going to be going on some ferries. So there will be some water experience and different kind of background. So that's a boat there. And somehow link those ripples to this ripple here. But will this come out in a painting? I don't know. This is the discussions that I have as I paint along with different things, different paintings. And that's what I mean about writing onto this piece as well. There is a conversation going on. I am getting my emotions in there and enjoying the results. So whatever results it has for you, I want to leave that conversation open. So if I fit my specific thoughts onto the page, I feel like it would lead you in a specific direction, but I'm leaving a place to say that something is being said. And that is the point of me writing these abstracted asemic lines and marks. So there it is. Let me know what you think. I'm really enjoying this time. I'm really enjoying bringing in my storytelling, because this is what it is. It's a storytelling. You can see that there's a conversation going on, especially if I put, a character in, a visual representation of a human being. That definitely tells you that something's going on. And it's always been the case that I feel like I'm telling a story. So that is where this is going. That's the representation. And I'll see how I amalgamate my other artwork into this. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go now. Bye, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for being here to the end as well. That's awesome. And I'll see you next week. But please do create artwork yourself. My point for doing this channel is to encourage you to be creative, and you have to start somewhere. And as you can see, I'm fumbling through this. I'm bringing together all the different things that I have done over time, and I am trying to merge them. I'm going to merge them by force. They will be merged. I will put them on a page and hopefully represent what it is I'm seeing visually in my head. And you see the journey here in the channel. You will see how I fumble through this. But I'm excited for where it's going. I'm excited that I am getting the vision for how I want to approach this. And the sketchbook has saved me. And this last couple of years, the sketchbook has made me understand how I can approach this, because it is, there's a freedom I didn't realize, I didn't understand. The more and more I used my sketchbook, it's suddenly come to the surface that this is a space that allows me to feel free. It's not something that is beholden to being given to anyone. It can be, but it is something that might stay in here forever. And so it hasn't got that extra pressure of saying this has to be for someone, this has to be given to someone, so the presentation has to be in a particular way. The sketchbook has given me a freedom of a space to explore, but it's not that I'm having it as a private space though. I don't understand that part of being so free because I'm using something I don't feel is a permanent substrate that I feel pressured to give away. But I feel a level of freedom I've not felt before. And that is allowing me to explore in a greater capacity, in a greater way. So I am enjoying it a lot. I have said goodbye. I do this every time. I'm so sorry, guys. Right. Okay. Bye. I promise. This is it. This is it. This is me going.